TJ who's taking the ball. Oh my God! What? And welcome back to the OCE Championship Final with myself, Asterix, Yummy Cheeseman, and Corey Lord at the end of the desk. We are into our second last series of the day and our next RLCS qualification spot.
This is the rematch of last year's lower bracket qualifying match. These two went head to head, and it was Tainted Minds causing the upset against Darksided last season.
But last time we saw these two teams go head to head in the finals of league play, we saw Darksided come ahead. So it could be anyone's game.
And in the top six, Darksided came ahead, but in league play, it was Tainted Minds, both of them going to the very last game.
It has always gone to the very last game. A best of 5, all 5 games. A best of 7 last week. Darksided just managed to get game number 7. Now we're into another best of 7, and things have changed a little bit today.
It's completely turned around. We saw the number 4 seed, the Tainted Minds, who could not really do anything in league play throughout the season, cause a massive upset against the number 2.
And that was through the utilization of Jules now becoming a terrifyingly secure member of their roster that allows these smooth rotations.
That's been the growth of Jules throughout the season to go from what was almost a nervous wreck at the beginning all the way to that confidence we saw right there.
But on the flip side, we have Darksided, who have that veteran roster, Dumbo added in, but he's been playing forever with 1 million hours, and it's the powerhouse consistency there they have to fight.
All 3 of these players have fallen from the upper bracket before, got into this situation, and all of them have lost. So now it is the time for them to turn it around. Shady is having a brilliant day, and if he can play consistently like he did at the beginning, that could be what Darksided do to win.
When Darksided went up against the Chief, you saw these elements that were good, but it was just not enough. Now going up against Tainted Minds, Darksided are going to have to firm up that play. Having a good Shady on the day is great, but Dumbo and Express need to match.
Well, the big thing about Express is he secured the final win for them last time in the finals with a hat trick.
Yep.
So if you want to lean on Express, that's a great place to look at. And if you look at the match before then, Shady had 80% goal participation.
But
They're
it's been
both
a
great.
long time since Express was truly at the top, since Express went to RLCS and he was that top player. This is his time to step up and prove that. It's the time for Shady to not make any mistakes like we saw in that devastating miss in front of net last season. And of course, it is the newcomer Dumbo who needs to shore it up.
But on the flip side, we do have the Tainted Minds. We have Jules, the newest player on their roster. But Kami is the player I want to be looking at next to him because he had 92% goal participation last time this team went head-to-head. He was pivotal in their success when they pulled the win.
Well, he had a terrible league play.
Oh, he did.
And I'm saying that not because he's a terrible player, but because we had such high expectations of him coming into this year. He was the bottom scorer on every single category, and then you consider how he went in the top 6 playoffs, how he's gone at the beginning of today, even in his series against the Chiefs. That is the Kami that's reminiscent of that last year.
He didn't have a solo goal till last week. Like, Kami was, the most assistant. This is going to be important for Kami because the motivation that we've now got from Jules, Kami has kind of come back to his element. CJ and them working together. 3 of Tainted Minds have a big task ahead.
I think CJ's been very consistent with his shots. He's not really missing anything in that last series. They're coming in with a lot of momentum.
Yeah, he's the rock that's been there. The fact he can give them a consistent offense when they were letting so many goals through at the time is what helped keep them ahead.
All right, in this next qualification match, the next RLCS qualification match, Korea, where do you sit after such a difficult series for Legacy last time against Tainted?
For this one, I'm going to have to give it to Darksided, but with not a lot of confidence on this at all. I think this could be my big mistake of the day.
It's been incredibly close between these two teams, time and time again. But the difference between now and then is that they've had chance to warm up. Tainted Minds are normally slow starters. They're going to rocket straight off the boat and win.
Game 1, we thought it was a thing. Game 2, then suddenly against Legacy 3 and 4. I'm going to go for Legacy Esports. Korea is the only one with Darksided here. Yeah, we're going to work that out.
He's definitely going for Legacy.
Sorry,
Esports.
Legacy.
What did I say? No, sorry, Tainted Minds.
You just still want Cyrix to come back.
I'm still living in the past, and I think next season I might start a little bit salty. That's different, however. With this season, Tainted going into Darksided, this is a grudge matchup, and this is a matchup that has hit all 7 games in the top 6 playoffs.
with everything on the line as well. I can't imagine there's going to be anything but more pressure going on them, and it's who can rise and keep the power.
Well,
Darksided up against Tainted Minds. It's the battle for the second spot at the World Championship. It's the time for Tainted Minds to return, or for Darksided to get past their failures of the past and make it through.
who will be joining the Chiefs? Who will secure that second spot? We're going to find out in this series. Best of 7. Right now, Darksided immediately on the defense. You can see the Tainted Minds were getting past that layer. Now, for these two teams, the way their style interacts, you can see here that Darksided, they're going to rely on those counter pushes.
We're looking for the first goal of the series. If Darksided get off to a fast start, they'll be Tainted Minds. But Tainted Minds just came off a 4-0 victory.
It was dominating. It was secure. Shady now in front of net. Jules going to play on the defensive with the rest of Tainted Minds. It's a light touch, and immediately so Darksided come in for the intercept, and Express there loses it. CJ now bringing it forward. Tainted Minds, when they have that momentum, when they have that speed on the ball, it feels like nothing can stop them.
They're so fast, they get to the ball before Darksided, and that's how they're going to prevent these big pressure plays from the big counterattacks. But they also have the tendency to overcommit. If they push 2 members forward, Darksided will quickly turn it around.
Shady's brought it back to the wall. 2 members in front of net for Darksided. They're going to interact and wait, but CJ and Jules go up for the ball. It's a light clear, one that Express can read on. He now has the angle. It's wide. Darksided don't commit forward, and Tainted Minds live to die another day, it looks like.
That's the kind of play that a brilliant Express at the top of his game should be putting in to really secure the first goal.
The difference from Darksided and Tainted Minds has been shown so many times before. A win last week, but in league play, it was Tainted Minds to take. Kami walks forward. Tainted Minds are getting a little bit of pressure on this backboard, but not really enough. Dumbo will lose the ball out, and immediately so Tainted Minds brings to a halt as Kami intercepts, and the first goal not there. Denied away by Darksided.
There's so much hesitation, neither team willing to take any risks, as the full weight of the ramifications of this match are on their shoulders.
Darksided bring it to the side of the wall, a quick bump onto Kami from Jules, and hopefully Tainted Minds aren't getting the pressure or letting it affect them. In front of net, Express is there, a light touch. The first goal goes to Darksided.
Powered that straight through. They hit the roof. They got the turnaround. Dumbo setting up the entire play, putting Tainted Minds on the back foot, and they had to scurry.
Through 2-3 defenders, Darksided find their way into the net.
It's a big start for Darksided. We said if they can get the first goal, they'll wrest the momentum away from Tainted Minds. They can take control of the match. And even now, a shot comes in for Kami! He was flying across the goal and accidentally made the save.
For Tainted Minds, that is going to be brutal. Darksided, again, they live to see another day, but CJ, and Kami are going to be looking into that goal.
I hope they can laugh that one off. They are a team all about the human. I think they'll be able to get past it, but it could still be crushing if they don't win the game.
Tainted Minds moving forward, Kami coming through as well, brings it to a standstill, and Jules hanging back. The confidence from Jules is what made that last series against Legacy, but no one's back in net. This one's going to be a bouncer, hit away by Kami. Dumbo comes in strong. The pass to Shady. Kami has to sweep in to save the day.
Dumbo just made 2 incredible plays. He needed to get that clear. They had a player out of the game, got the clear, and now he's set up the pressure at the same time.
Around the side, Darksided now coming in off the defense. Kami could pass over to CJ. CJ intercepted by Shady. Brings it back, good for Express. And there's the shot. It's wide.
He's had 3 shots. 1 out of 3 is successful. He needs to bring up that shot percentage and really secure it. Another one just going past CJ. CJ almost getting that in.
It was the 1-2 from Tainted Minds, but the third player just wasn't there. They walk back around, a minute 30 remaining. Darksided 1 goal. Will it be enough in game number 1?
Back and forth opportunities, but as Tainted Minds behind, they're the ones that need to rush for the goals, and Darksided are great on defense. This is how you get past. That is the 1-2 pass.
You could see they thought the shot was going to be accurate, and as soon as it hits that crossbar, CJ with the demo there.
Not only did he get the demo, the bounce back pushed him into the ball. Kami read it perfectly, and he knew exactly where Jules was.
The top of Tainted Minds now.
It's their fast ground plays that gets them past the defense of the top teams in OCE, and from their terrible start in league play, they've turned around the season.
1-1, 1 minute remaining. Game 1, ever so tight for the last RLCS spot. On the defense are Darksided, but they've left it up for CJ. CJ Coming off that back wall, it's going to be a clear. Responded well. Dark-sided. They know how tense this is. And Kami saving it away. He's been in that net this game. And now for Dark-sided. Shady's back in. A light pop up. The finisher blocked. Tainted Minds, the defense is getting better.
Just at that last line of defense, just holding out. Dark-sided desperate to take the shot and drop that in. Another save from Kami.
A big moment for this defender, and this game seems like it's going to last forever. 30 seconds remaining. Jules now sent up with the ball. He dribbles it down the midfield. It's lost to Dark-sided. It comes back around. Express with the counter attack and that pinch off the wall. Now for Dark-sided, they're on the defense. Jules taking the ball.
20 seconds left, and we know this is such an important game. Can someone finish it before it goes to overtime?
CJ sends it onto the backboard. The finish is there from Jules, but it's blocked away. Dark-sided might just need to pace this one out. Let it go to overtime. But Tainted Minds, it's now in the air.
Jumbo.
For Dark-sided, it's lobbed by Jules. CJ's up for the ball. It'll hit the wall and hit down.
What a sigh of relief for Tainted Minds right at the end there. Looked like a potential opportunity for Dark-sided. Now the stress truly begins here in overtime.
We see the overtime against Dark-sided. For Tainted Minds, it doesn't always end well. Jules brings it off the side of the wall, and Tainted Minds have full control at the start of this overtime, but how long will it last?
Can the player Jules, who has struggled with those nerves throughout the season, bring it back in this intense game and be the one to drive Tainted Minds forward?
Jules gets the pinch before he gets demoed. For Tainted Minds, they still have the pressure on the ball. They bring themselves back up with 30 seconds into overtime. Dark-sided get it through one. Dumbo gets it through another, but there's not going to be a follow-up. CJ going for the pace of the ball. Wins it over. Now run out of boost, but he's rolled with it. He sent it to the side. Jules goes in. Tainted Minds in front of the net. But so damn close, they won't find it this time.
CJ's always happy to go without the boost, and he almost pays off. Dark-sided now trying to turn it around, but this one just going wide.
It bounces back for Dark-sided. One more shot going to come through from Dumbo. It angles in off the wall, but it's used with the help of speed. A minute remaining, or a minute started into overtime rather. Express brings the ball back forward.
Back and forth opportunities. Can someone get this goal? It's so crucial. This one on target. The Express to try and take it away.
A lead in the game for Tainted Minds would do so much, but for Dark-sided, they would maintain control. Kami losing the ball. Jules now coming out of the corner. Going to use speed on the ball. Following it down the wall. He'll read it well. It goes wide all the way to Express. Kami coming up for the ball, but Shady's won it over. This is CJ. He pops it back. Express with the long pass for Dumbo. It gets blocked mid-air again.
Tainted up quite so quickly to the ball. Neither team want to get through as we approach 2 minutes in overtime.
And 2 minutes in, Tainted Minds, they don't look like they're cracking, nor to Dark-sided. It's going to be up to one play as Express goes forward. He's going to look for someone else from Dark-sided, but it's stolen away by Kami. Tainted Minds might have a moment here as Dumbo's missed the ball. But Shady's the last line of defense. How do Tainted Minds go? Jules comes in. They react again. And they come ever so close. A light touch forward. Tainted Minds a third shot.
Both of these teams are sitting there not taking any risks. And when it comes to these scenarios, it's about who's making the least mistakes. And neither team is making any. So it has to be a big pass play to finish off this game.
Akami in front of the net. Jules goes high. Express hits it up to the backboard. No one from Tainted Minds is coming back in. In game one, who would have expected this long of an overtime? They're so well matched. And it's just so reactionary at this point.
It's back and forth, the clears either way. Both teams trying to get an opportunity, but not taking the risks to do so. They don't want to overcommit, and Dumbo pushes it through. What a game he has had.
The finisher from Dark-sided, they get game one. They'll take themselves a step closer to returning to RLCS for Express, but joining the ranks of the few.
By himself, off the top corner. Dumbo was crucial and critical throughout the middle of that series in the midfield, beating players out, and it went towards his favor right at the end on his third opportunity.
And you see how many shots Dark-sided had was almost matched by Tainted Minds. That was a game of inches, and in the end, Dark-sided managing to clinch that extra distance.
No one has ever gone from the upper bracket qualifier, lost, and made it through. But already, Dark-sided looking to do it. We have to remember last season, they're in the same situation. They took, I think, game number 2. They were up, they looked good, and then all of a sudden, Tainted Minds turned it on, turned it up to the next level, and took it home.
Tainted Minds are warmed up here. They came into this series after a 4-0 against Legacy. They lose the first game, and You can see there, people are still supporting Tainted Minds, 56%. This is going to be close, but Darksider getting that first game is crucial.
It was a 2.5-minute overtime, but it was crucial for Darksider.
Yeah.
Tainted Minds, they were coming in as the team on fire with 3 confident players, while Darksider were coming in off a 4-0 loss.
Yeah.
So normally you'd see them come in low spirits, they'd have to warm up through the game, but they are coming out of the gate. And if every game is as close as that one, we're going to have a good series.
We're going to have a damn good series. It's happened before, and remember in these series, it's gone to all 7 games.
Yeah.
At least last week, Darksider narrowly took it out, but under the pressure, Tainted Minds today look like a different team, so maybe it's going to change a little bit in Game 2.
Can Tainted Minds bring up those big solo plays to win out Game 2 and put themselves back in contention for that World Championship?
CJ to start things off, almost pinched that one in. It goes past the Darksider defense, and now for the first shot, Shady gets blocked out before it even gets near that goal square. Back and forth, Tainted Minds, they roll this one, comes close, the demolition on CJ. CJ hops some of the aggression.
Dumbo had to make a quick decision there to just push it off his goal. Could have been disastrous, but they save it out. The shot's going to come in from Kami. He gets saved out express. Another goal line save.
And now for Darksider running away from the field. Jules comes through the midfield, misses the ball, and CJ will go for the dribble. He pops it up past one, but Express is better to know the play. Only 40 seconds have passed, but some big opportunities for Tainted Minds, and Darksider, they're just waiting for that one counter play that's going to get things going.
It can be so frustrating play against Darksider because they can hold back and make clutch save after clutch save, draw you in. When you're Tainted Minds, you like playing aggressive, you want to go and attack, and when you do, Darksider counter it.
Kami adding another save to the list now for CJ, looking for the intercept and will not find it. Jules comes back around the corner, and Tainted Minds, Game 2, a lot of pressure putting on their backs right now. Darksider coming in off the side will hit that corner. Now for Kami up again. Pass it over to Jules, but Dumbo's there. Reads it well, goes over the top, and maybe not. As Darksider now pushed on the defense. The big clear! No, CJ, no!
The straight clear over the top. They brought them in. They saw that they had the opportunity, but Tainted Minds were too close, and it gets behind CJ. He could not get back.
So Darksider find that ample opportunity and take full control of it. Now that first goal in Game 2. See if things can be recovered.
They reel you in and then take you hook, line, and sinker into their defensive half, and that is when it's most dangerous for Tainted Minds.
It's a good pass from Express. They'll keep it down this side of the field, and an opportunity once again arises for Darksider. Shady struggles to recover that. 3 minutes 20. Tainted Minds pushing up the field, left-hand wing now. CJ center, but Express just worked to help him. Jules, ball over to CJ. I think it was Kami going up for the ball as well. It's a big clear that turns into a shot. Now rolling in, past the smoke.
Another close series. The demolitions coming out, making it so difficult to see. And Shady, the awkward touch off the roof. Kami playing confidently forward, just has to push it in.
And for Tainted Minds now getting themselves back on the board, Darksider, they can never feel quite comfortable in this series. They can never feel quite in control. With a Tainted Minds like this, that always finds a way.
They can score a goal from anywhere. You can never say, okay, we've got the defense, we can hold on. They can't park the bus like they do against other teams.
No, it's a total different caliber of team as well. Jules going forward, the ball's actually just gone over the top, and Darksider relying on these big clears to get them started. Shady with a good read by Kami. He'll get it over to Dumbo. Hit that backboard, and now for Darksider, it's Dumbo. He wants to lock it down. He's got so much experience, so much hard working behind him, and Tainted Minds are looking to deny.
Dumbo, he's so close. He's been 1 goal away twice in the past. He's had so many opportunities. He's really hungry to get there this time.
Back around the corner, 2 minutes 30. Tainted Minds set up well, but the mid-air bump, what does it make for Tainted Minds? It makes a banger of a shot for CJ.
They've turned it around. Tainted Minds bring back the lead with this goal. CJ finding his form in the midfield, using that time. You cannot give Tainted Minds an inch because they'll take a mile.
I feel like Game 1, this is the only series today where Game 1 might not dictate how the rest of the series goes. Or maybe I'm wrong, but for Tainted Minds in Game 2, taking the lead.
I think Game 1 will dictate it. It was so close, it showed that this series can go either way.
Shady bringing it back off the roof, and Darksider, they've all come up to this side of the field. CJ will pass it over to Jules. It's a miss, which CJ should be able to recover from. Express with a light touch, ready for Dumbo, who's going to rebound back towards that net, but the clear calculated well by Tainted Minds. 2 minutes left remaining with a 1-goal lead. Can they maintain? It's a question I've been asking all day.
Darksided have not been pushing up and looking for those pressure plays. They've been going more aggressive, looking for a big shot like that. Just trying to get this goal and tie up the game.
Aerial again from, I was going to say from Express, but it was a slow dribble, and he still came in strong, and Express back in front of that net where Darksided love to be. This is going to be in front. CJ, it's a good read, but they're coming close. Tainted Minds, dangerous passes, but a massive clear for Darksided. They'll defend this off to this wing. Express there for the ball, using the pace on it. Shady goes over the top, and Tainted Minds, the minute 10 remaining, they hold out yet again.
Tainted Minds so ready for the intercepts. It's why Darksided are having so much trouble getting the infields, getting those passes across the pitch. We'll see one come in, and they had to pass it further back, away from the Tainted Minds defense in order to beat them.
This is a good pass from Darksided, but it's very well read by Tainted Minds. Beating out the ball from Darksided, always a challenge, but Tainted Minds are going to get the pace on it. They're going to speed things up. A demolition. Tainted Minds now versing a 2v3, but not for long. CJ will respond.
A montage play, a special play, almost coming out from Tainted Minds, and you can see Darksided really have to respect it. They know Tainted Minds can score absolute blinders.
Jules centers the ball, gets cleared by Darksided. How many more times can Darksided put an onslaught on like this in this game? Kami reacts well. Kami's been saving the ball daily here. Jules comes up with the ball. 15 seconds. Tainted Minds. Have they done enough? They bring the ball back from the corner. CJ now just wasting time with the help of Kami. Darksided will find the clear eventually, but when this ball lands, it could be a Tainted Minds game number 2. The bounce used as an initiation tool from Express, but as it comes around the corner, Tainted Minds equalize.
They hold on with just one goal by playing aggressive right there at the end. Tainted Minds have brought themselves back in. This is the start of their series. This is the beginning of their road to RLCS. It doesn't matter that they're in the lower bracket. It doesn't matter what they did through league play. This is a completely new Tainted Minds.
This is the 4th seed that is putting up a fight against the 3rd seed, but better than that. They knocked out the 2nd seed in Legacy. Tainted Minds put a showcase on today, and in Game 2, it feels like they're getting back into the swing of the series.
No one believed in Tainted Minds. You ask the community, they're all like Legacy or Darksided. Now, Tainted Minds are just sticking it to everyone. They're saying, no, this is our road. CJ, and Kami have been incredibly confident.
Yeah.
And that's how they play. They just say, it's us. We don't care what you're doing. We're just going to play as fast as we can and beat you out.
With today, Jules is the confidence, the final third. CJ and Kami may play like that all the time, but now we're seeing Jules step up to the plate.
And with Jules playing so well and playing confidently, that actually gives CJ, and Kami more confidence as well.
Yeah.
One of their biggest problems that they've had throughout this season is that Kami and CJ, they're kind of not sure what's going on. They don't know if Jules is going to push up or stay back. But now they know he's going forward, so they can rotate around that.
I'd be curious to sit down and listen to comms again in such a crucial moment. However, we don't have time for that with Game 3 upon us and 1 apiece for both Darksided and Tainted Minds.
Whoever gets this takes the lead, but it's still a long journey for Darksided and Tainted Minds throughout this series. A shot is coming on. Dumbo misses the double.
But so did Tainted Minds. They had a net there to capitalize on, and they didn't find anything. But Darksided, they'll still breach and way, almost finding one.
We've seen Express missing some shots. We've now seen another one hitting the crossbar. Devastating misses for Darksided in such a devastating attack.
But what a good save from Dumbo right there, Yummy. That was a big shot, one that came very quickly from CJ. Now for the passing play from Kami. They'll bring it back downfield and Darksided. RLCS on the line here. Game 3, an equal standing point, but evil plays to be had by both. Getting through Express. Go a bit wide.
Time for Darksided to put on these pressure plays. You can see.
Oh no!
That's a huge mistake. Kami had the clear, but Shady just puts this right next to him. Tries to get the goal, and Kami's accidentally squeezed that in. Darksided might be able to use that as their push forward through this series.
And if this makes a difference for Darksided, they'll be happy, but Tainted Minds be clawing at themselves. CJ will go off for the ball, and 4 minutes left remaining for Tainted Minds to redeem.
We've seen a couple of those big mistakes from Tainted Minds. So those big pressure plays that really put them on the defense where they don't want to be. And mistakes like that can happen.
Kami with the pace down, and again for Darksided, they reach down and get away from this backboard is CJ. Tainted Minds on the defensive, exactly where they do not want to be. Through the center now. Tainted Minds able to push the ball out with the help of Kami. He comes around the corner, loses the ball, but for Jules, he'll center it to CJ. A big clear. This could go wrong as Tainted Minds, their defense, will hold out for now, but Express wants to finish it. Denied by Kami.
Two more big saves by Kami, holding that net. He's moved into that third-man role and is letting CJ, and Jules take over
no,
the
Shady
attack.
commits forward. Close call there, Yummy. But Dumbo comes out for the ball. So now for CJ. He just committed to attack. Can he get it through Shady? Shady's just run out of boost, but moving forward is still Darksided. 3 minutes left remaining.
3 minutes to tie up this game for Tainted Minds to get the lead. It's going to be all about mentality in this game. It's do or die. It's RLCS or nothing.
There is nothing they want more. International experience. Go to RLCS. The Copper Box in London will be happy to have you. But who will be going out of these two? Darksided bringing off the backboard Express. He's got it. Dunk it down.
He's found his spot. He's found his precision. We saw earlier he was going high. This time, you see him go low. He doesn't want to miss. He doesn't want to go too high again. And he just secures the goal.
2 minutes 30. Darksided have time to play with here. But for Tainted Minds getting shut out, it looks like a series for series, but never have we had a game in this series this dominant. A 2-0 start is huge.
It's already turned around big, but 2 minutes and a half for Tainted Minds. That is so much time. They can score a lot of goals in a quick amount of time.
Dumbo gets a runaway, however, for Darksided. They're waiting for the center. Shady and Express hanging back. Express brings himself forward and lobs the ball into the corner. Now for CJ. Directly down the center field. 2 minutes left remaining, and Darksided holding possession, shutting out Tainted Minds in their own side of the field. It is not good for the team squad.
Tainted Minds aren't getting those intercepts, and in fact, it's Darksided, the ones shutting down the passes from Tainted Minds now, and that's how they're able to keep control of this game.
Shady brings the ball over solo. Wins one, loses the other. Darksided still managing to hold ball control, but now the passing play goes wide. Dumbo misses it. CJ's going to have to recover it. It bounces to Express, and Tainted Minds just not hitting the mark.
Not quite there. Tainted Minds finding that accuracy is not hitting the mark.
1 minute 30. Tainted Minds in the midfield now for Darksided. Getting that game advantage once more. In game number 3, Tainted Minds, they move up. They have gotten the ball this far, but a minute 15, time is just running out here. And from the corner, Tainted Minds now have to be careful because any kind of counterattack from Darksided will net another goal. The dream for game 3 will fall. They bring themselves forward. Intercept not available, but Darksided send up Dumbo from the corner again. Tainted Minds trying to get pace on the ball, but Darksided have just played with so much time. Shady comes back in, 50 seconds, Tainted Minds just can't get out.
Time is ticking down. Tainted Minds have to push this forward. They have to take this advantage. If they don't, Darksided will have flipped the script on last season and will take 2 games. When last season they went 4-1 down.
Well, this is going to bounce off the side, and imagine the start here for Tainted Minds. It was looking very convincing. It was like game 2 after that. We would see a very different series from Tainted Minds, but Darksided managing to find their way back. 20 seconds left to go. Tainted Minds, they're going to struggle to get anything out of this. It'll be centered down. But game 3 for Darksided. This looks like a sure thing.
They've completely constricted Tainted Minds. They've started to run away with the series, and they've figured out what they're doing. Normally, Darksided are the ones that are predictable, the ones that play really structured, but they're figuring out what Tainted Minds are trying to do.
I think you look at Tainted Minds now and you'd say maybe the same thing about them. For Tainted Minds, they're a team that normally can't be read. Shady, oh, you clever dog. He'll bring it right in front of the net. Darksided, a testament to how they're playing in this series.
And Express is having a big game here. He was the one we said in 2017 was a fantastic player, one of the top players. Hasn't had the same level of experience in this season, but today, he has been the man on fire.
Game 3 goes over to Darksided. They're a step closer towards RLCS. They take that lead once more. Things aren't over yet.
It is so close, and so many of these players, very experienced, have played 136 games each on this roster, on this dark-sided roster. Compare that to Tainted Minds. Jules only has 57 OCE championship games under his belt, all of them this season. And the struggle is real when it comes to that experience, when it comes to those overtimes, when it comes to tense moments like this series. It can be devastating.
It's a level of adaptation that Darksided is showing here as well. I think we understate how Darksided are moving to the tune of their own drum rather than Tainted Minds.
And they're holding the ball in that defensive half. They're pushing against Tainted Minds. And you compare that to what Chiefs did to Darksided.
Yeah.
Whenever they had the ball in the defensive half, Chiefs looked for the defensive passes, where the Tainted Minds are like, we just got to clear the ball. We got to go on attack. And it actually doesn't help you at all.
It's like that kind of level of panicking, I guess, or maybe playing...
A lack of control, really.
Yeah. You know, playing for the time you're in rather than, you know, having the foresight to play for the play ahead, if that makes sense.
I think it does. If you get the clear in the defense, you're playing for right now. You're not worried about the attack just yet. And then once you're out of defense, you can go on the offensive.
Playing for later rather than for right now. Darksided. They've read Tainted Minds well, but changing things up will make all the difference. In game number 4, Darksided hold the lead in this best of 7. It'll be sent to the Tainted Minds, but they don't get to the ball first. Instead, Darksided have full opportunity here as Express goes up for the ball around the corner, angles it in nicely. Dumbo goes up, and now Shady is coming in. It's a light touch from Jules, and Shady will be able to turn around. Jules missing the ball, up goes Shady again. This one will be right in front of net. The shot's there, block again, this time from CJ.
Brilliant save, Kami and CJ just on that last line of defense, able to hold it out. And you can see regularly Darksided in the season, they were 2 games up ahead of Tainted Minds, and yet Tainted Minds still were able to bring it back to game 7. They're not going to be low on spirits just yet.
4 minutes. Darksided have had a shot. They've set themselves up nicely with Tainted Minds. Not spirited away. Jules brings it back over for Darksided now, hanging around this wing. It's going to be Shady who infield pass, but Dumbo's a little bit late to it. Give Tainted Minds room to breathe. Now up again. CJ comes around off that wall. Jules is in too. CJ just needs to pass it in, but it goes wide. Spreads it to the wing for Jules. Happy with it? Yes, he is, but Darksided always up for the ball now as well.
I think first goal advantage has been so crucial throughout this series so far. Dangerous touch from Jules, but they are going to get away from that. Sorry, CJ.
Off the backboard it was there. Now with the quick demolition, what can Kami achieve? He hasn't gotten it through, but it's an infield pass that works out. Double demolition from Tainted Minds. CJ's been handed a pot of gold, which he knocks back up and sends to the Minds. Kami around from the side, and for Darksided, they're just responding, they're getting the clears and not giving Tainted Minds room.
It's time for Tainted Minds to get on the attack, to hit that backboard instead of hitting the roof over and over again, because Darksided are defending the backboard quite well.
Well, no pace on the ball whatsoever, and that means Darksided can control it how they want. CJ comes around and deals with Darksided. 1 attacker, 2 attacker, the third blocked. As Shady on the defense pushes it all the way up again, and the rotations from Darksided working out in their favor in this series. 2 minutes 30 remaining. Look at Darksided now back on the defense. For Tainted Minds, they just need to breach that defense. And remember, that bouncer is going to be read so well. Darksided don't even let the ball hit the ground before Tainted Minds are there. 2 minutes 30, still counting down. Tainted Minds coming in off the side. It's going to bounce around the corner. Shady trying to center the ball. Jules over to CJ from the wall. 1 defender. Tainted Minds again. Can't get through. It's so well read by Darksided.
And because Darksided are reading them so well, Tainted Minds are going closer together, looking for shorter passes, which are harder to execute.
And because of that, it's not really in their style. We see the longer passes, we see the faster passes from them as well. They'll come near the net once more, and Express will deny them the opportunity. Over to Shady, he bounces it to the wall. Kami and Jules, they both commit forward, and because of that, they have another shot. Darksided come close. Kami gets his savior medal up and going. 30 for Tainted Minds. Can they get out of this defense? It's 0-all. Darksided have a point ahead in this series. The intercept not read. CJ comes forward, and it looks like the possession's still being played by the game of Darksided. CJ walks forward from the corner, a bump onto Dumbo, but Express has already taken the ball away. A bit of a stalemate in this game 4. And that Darksided seem like they're managing well. Whenever slow play happens, whenever counter clears are coming out left, right, and center. It always looks like Darksided are the ones that capitalize the most.
No real opportunities for either of these teams, and it's getting more and more tense. The closer it gets to overtime, the harder it is to play and the faster your heart beats.
The intercept there, no! A miss from CJ, it looks like.
It's Express again with that plow through, and the defense was getting harassed by Shady, getting chased out, put the pressure on, Darksided getting this goal and potentially taking themselves one match away from the World Championship.
In a low-scoring game against Tainted Minds, Darksided may have done it. There's 50 seconds left remaining, and Tainted have got this last chance in front of net to get this shot. Jules will go wide, hits the corner, but it's taken away immediately by Shady. But Tainted Minds, the pace has been upped. They know they have to get this goal now, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts. Darksided holding the lead. They could be facing match point to go back to RLCS.
Such a difficult position to be in. You've seen them before in this spot where they were 3 goals down. We've got 20 seconds to stop that from happening, but they also know that they're able to bring those back.
Express with a light touch. Tainted Minds down the side of the field they want to be in. Dumbo will get the read, but Jules there just centers it for Express. And Darksided, look at this. They're going to play to the tune of their own drum, as they have been. A demolition from the side of Darksided as Shady will help delay this. Darksided, let it bounce. Game 4, match point for Darksided.
The countdown clock was music to the Darksided ears. You could hear from here how happy they were. Express having another big game. Today he scored almost all of the Darksided goals. He's finding his shots. He's finding that opportunity to open up the net. This is very scary now for Tainted Minds.
This is a huge moment for Darksided, though. They've wanted to go back to RLCS. Shady and Dumbo can taste it now.
Yeah, Shady's never gone.
Nor is Dumbo.
Dumbo was so close twice in Game 7, twice in another finals as well. Got reverse swept in that finals by Tainted Minds last season. He's forever one step away, and now he is one step away from finally realizing his dream.
And Express had a season where he did not go to RLCS. He did not have the opportunity. Now in Season 5, he can make the return trip. It all comes down to this next game. If they can take the win, Darksided go. After this, Tainted Minds will still be against match point. Darksided could still go. There's a lot of pressure on them.
I can't count the number of times, though, where Tainted Minds have been on their last leg, and that's where they go, okay, it's do or die. This is time to step it up. This is time to go ham. And when they take those big risks to try and score the goals, it pays off.
Those risks are what make Tainted Minds. By playing cautiously, that is not the team we know and love. So let's see if they can step it up and move forward in the series, or if Darksided can make their way to RLCS and the finals for a rematch with the Chiefs.
They need to break the grasp of Darksided, who have got the full grip of this series, of the game, and of the pitch.
Into the center field now for Darksided. They go slow with the pace, but it rebounds towards the net. Jules up for the ball, and it's going to be all about this player from Tainted Minds. What can he do? Can he manage to lift them with CJ and Kami alongside?
CJ, the hype man's going to be the one pushing them forward, saying, we can do this. Do not let the hopes and dreams die. And now, CJ trying to lead them to the first goal.
A very different game when you consider that Tainted Minds didn't get anywhere near that net in the last game. Only 4 minutes have passed, or only 1 minute passed, sorry. Tainted Minds getting close. Kami into Express now, but going forward is Jules, a bump away. You saw that from Dumbo. Might have just saved the day.
Tainted Minds. They're so far behind. Let's see them pick it up. Darksided is still maintaining forward pressure.
Kami keeps it in the air. Jules goes up for it. It goes over the top into the backboard. Dumbo pinches it out and gets it to Express. To Shady. Now passing up this right wing. Good infield there from Dumbo. Express runs up as well. Tainted Minds coming through. This is a hot topic as now in front of that net. There's so much opportunity for both of these teams. 0-0 so far.
Tainted Minds. They're not getting the best touches they possibly can. It's really restricting what they can do as a team if they can't get the ball to each other each time.
Remember, it doesn't happen what happened in league play. It doesn't matter what happened is the words I was looking for. Close again was Dumbo. The pass now upfield. Kami with just the simple touch. Express gets it through one, not the second. He sends it to the midfield. Dumbo doesn't hit it, but Shady does from the corner now. CJ. Tainted Minds want this so badly. Infield pass over to Jules. Tainted Minds not holding possession for long. These passes getting intercepted. Read even better by Darkside.
And Jules in that play, he was staying further back. He's not got that confidence to move forward. That's why he wasn't in position for that infield.
CJ blocked. Darksided, 2 members up. CJ was going for the distress on the defender of Darksided. Now bringing it back. Express doesn't have control, and CJ comes back in. Kami on the defense. Shady's going for the runaway, brings it onto that back wall. A shot for Darksided, but Dumbo hits it up. Express to finish it down. That backboard, not as peppered as we first thought, but still getting it pressed.
Dumbo's been so good at getting those balls over the top of the defenders. He's just getting up, beating out the Tainted Minds player, and it's allowing them to push forward each time.
And when it matters, Darksided feel like they've stepped up, but for Tainted Minds, the story is not over just yet. Dumbo comes in, that ball rebounds. The last defender is Express with the big clear. No one from Tainted Minds is matching it in the air. Gives Shady room to breathe. And a close call for Darksided once again.
Could have been a historic moment as Darksided looking so close, trying to get the big plays now, not looking for pressure, instead opening up the net.
Tainted Minds, 1 minute 40, now on the offensive. They have to hit the ball. That's CJ who keeps it down this side of the field, but Darksided with the second touch, it makes all the difference in the world. Express showing huge amount of ball control throughout this series. 1 minute 30 now in front of net. Shot opportunities. Darksided is denied. Dumbo, good touch. Time's ticking, still 0-all. Darksided want to end it here and now on match point. To go back to RLCS Express. He can feel it, he can taste it. The demolition from Kami halts things. Demolition onto Express. Maybe halts things a little bit further.
I can't believe how close these are. It's still 0 apiece. It's been like this almost every single game, and they're not able to breach each other's defenses.
3 members in a close pack from Darksided. But the ball cleared eventually anyway. 45 seconds now, the runaway from Dumbo. It could be one play that separates them all. Express goes up for the ball, and Tainted Minds, they know this is a mistake, and they capitalize big!
Tainted Minds are running away. They've taken it. They've brought it back. They've got 40 seconds to hold out on this lead and try and make it to the World Championship.
39 seconds remaining. Tainted Minds take the lead, and one slip up from Darksided, and they were there when it counts. This was the change in the game.
It's been a series about making small mistakes, forcing your opponents out of position, and Jules, what a save! The masterful save from the backboard keeps them in the lead.
Lands exactly where he wants to land, and Tainted Minds should be blessing their stars that Jules was in the right place at the right time. Jules had the audacity to come on down.
Last second, and Tainted Minds holding on, but Darksided not giving up yet. Another shot to pepper the goals, but finally, Tainted Minds get the clear and are looking to hold it on with the Nava attack. This is the open net. This is Jules securing it for Tainted Minds.
And this is going to feel good for Tainted Minds. They bring it on to game number 6, and if they could get 2 goals here, they're going to be feeling right. We should have the confidence. We should push forward and let Jules do his talking.
Darksided have seen this before. They were up against the Chiefs 2-0. Tainted Minds were down against Darksided 2-0. They've both brought it back in those situations, and this looks like it could be a repeat.
Tainted Minds, they'll take game 5. They're not out of this yet, that's what we said. They're not out of this yet. Darksided had a lot of shots in that game, but Tainted Minds felt like they were able to get out of the net. Finally.
Such an important game for Jules, for CJ, for Kami. That confidence just from winning that one, knowing they've done this so many times. I think Tainted Minds, I don't know the exact record for this, but I've seen them do more reverse sweeps, more major comebacks, and normally it's because they've had a really slow start.
Yeah.
And then they win later on. But this time...
They had a good start.
This time it's because they've had a good start, they had a good showing, and they're still doing it. They had that one game. We remember last season, they got the reverse sweep.
They did.
Against Scylla.
Yeah.
Then they got 1 goal game down against Darksided and brought that back. And now they're trying to do it again.
So now, still on match point for Darksided. So Darksided have 2 games to play with here.
Yep.
But yeah, the record indicates that Tainted Minds, they want to take this to a full game 7. This has happened before, but Darksided in game 7 clutched it out.
I think Darksided, and we saw this against the Chiefs, when they get in the lead, they can have the tendency to play further back, not take the risk, not go out of their way to get those big demos that get them the goals in the first place. And by playing so safe, it makes them more susceptible to being beaten.
Let's see if Tainted Minds can continue to claw their way back. They've got 2 wins. Darksided have 3, and Darksided are still on match point in game number 6. In front of net, the first opportunity arises with Express, sending it back. A wide pass is angled past Jules.
You can see that no matter how the series goes, every single game has been close. Both of these teams deserve to go. Who can cross the finish line first?
A shot from CJ. CJ, Tainted Minds want to bring the pace forward. Jules loses the ball. Now for the control from Darksided, but CJ comes in, swinging from the corner. Kami's here as well, angles it towards the net. Express rolls with it. CJ's here, but the ball's going over the top. Now for Shady, the pass to Dumbo, into that backboard. It's sent away. Express for the finisher. CJ sends it further.
Still playing carefully. You saw Express so far back. He was too late to be able to counter on that backboard. That's how Tainted Minds kept the defense.
CJ dribbles the ball forward, but Kami not going to come up. They're playing a little bit cautiously to start things off. Kami against that wall will center it, but Shady now lobs it in. It's close, hits the crossbar. Express wants to finish it, but it's blocked again. And Tainted Minds, you got to say their defense has definitely improved.
Express is hating that crossbar.
Oh, yeah.
Darksided have hit it so many times already this series, and Tainted Minds breathing a sigh of relief.
The RLCS spot on the line. In front of net now. This one's come to a standstill. CJ gets the demo. Get it away from Dumbo. You have to get that pass through.
Again, over the top of the defender.
Again, Dumbo finds an opportunity as he gets demoed. Express recovers it. Shady comes back in. The angle's good, but Kami is living in front of this net. Another shot angled towards the left. And Darksided, they're coming close. For Tainted Minds, again, it could come down to 1 goal.
So many saves from Kami. He's the bank of Tainted Minds. Just holding that net over and over again, not willing to come out until he's really needed.
But someone always ends up breaking the vault. And for Kami, he's good. But Darksided seem to have been holding stronger. 3 minutes left remaining in the defensive now. This one's in front of net. The intercept tried from Jules. CJ comes back in through the center. Express with pace on the ball. It's wobbled out of the side. Kami's just set this one up for Shady. That's going to hit the backboard. Now for Express, he goes past and Dumbo hits that back wall, but who's there to receive? It goes through Express. It's a pass to CJ. CJ. And Shady's up for the ball.
It's so amazing how each of these games feels like game 1. Both of them testing out the defense, and this one truly a test, but answered by Jules.
A great read from Jules. This will enable Tainted Minds to get up the field. The shot's there. It's now in front of net, but Dumbo reacts well.
What a pinch save by Shady just to take that out, holding them forward. That could have been the 1 goal that have been all it takes for a team to win.
2 minutes remaining. These have been clinches, and they've been 1 goal, 2 goal games, if anything. It's not been dominant from each team. It has been close. 2 minutes left remaining. Darksided want to find that one. They get to RLCS if they can win this game. They secure their position against Chiefs in the finals. For Tainted Minds, they're not going to let it end here. They go up for the ball from the corner. Darksided getting shut out a little bit here as the center's there again. He's angled it. Jules has got it.
The double touch from CJ. CJ off the corner. He's found that in an unpredictable play. Jules finds the angle. Express caught out of position, and Tainted Minds catching up in the series.
They want to take themselves to a game 7, and by all means, we're all happy for that to happen, but everyone's sitting on the edge of their seats as they watch this game unfold. 1 minute 40, Jules stepping up huge for Tainted Minds. And in game number 6, Darksided are a goal down.
Ride or die for Tainted Minds on their last life, and they choose for their last ride. There is a now open net, and Shady gets blocked out.
Oh, Darksided comes so close there, Yummy, but Tainted Minds, again, their defense being held strong. 1 minute 15, CJ's got pace on this ball. The demolition onto Kami will not enable the re-evaluation of this play. But coming in off the wall, they got it through Express. Dumbo now rebounding it and trying to get some disruptive play from Darksided. A minute remaining.
This is a hard commit from Darksided. They've only got one defender back, but Shady just holds it by himself.
Does well. Jules brings it to a standstill. Kami waiting back as well. He'll go over the top. This hits the backboard. Express is coming in. He's dumped it.
CJ!
I don't know how you read that, CJ, but you've done damn well. 45 seconds remaining, and Tainted Minds again. Their defense, it's a new level.
It's so close. These games have been going one goal, and that was surely a game winner from Darksided. And it got blocked out by CJ.
CJ does the exact same thing, but this time it's in the midfield. As he blocks it out, he sets it up for Tainted Minds. They're trying to play with time, but Darksided are hitting the pedal to the metal. Dumbo from the side. I never stutter.
20 seconds left. Darksided. They could have taken the series 2 games ago. It looks like this is the end of the road. They've got one last chance, or it's going to a Game 7.
But here's the passing play, a massive clear. Express has set it up in front of net. It bounces, it rolls. Tainted Minds, Game 7.
They've held on. They've found the Game 7. Can they repeat history? Can they take down Darksided in that last game in the lower bracket? 9 weeks of blood, sweat, and tears. It all goes down to one game. 5 minutes is all it takes to go to the World Championship.
RLCS, the last spot for OCE. There are not 3 spots, there are not 4 spots, there are 2. Darksided or Tainted Minds now on match point. Both of them alike in Game 7. We'll be facing up international opportunities.
Every single time these two have faced each other, they've gone to the final game. It's gone one apiece to Tainted Minds and Darksided. Last season, Tainted Minds had the advantage, but it felt like it was Darksided this season. And now, we have the best game of the season.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Tainted Minds.
I'm excited. I can't stop moving around.
In league play, Yummy.
Stepped on my headset a few times.
In league play, we got to the point where, Tainted Minds found themselves in Game 7, but Darksided managed to claw it out. During league play, during top 6 that was. During league play itself, Tainted Minds showed how convincing they were. It may be one apiece, it may be close, but right now it comes down to one thing. Give me one thing from each team that makes it.
We've found the veterancy from Darksided.
Oh, yeah.
They know how to hold out. On the opposite side, Tainted Minds have that spark, that hype, the hype man CJ.
Yeah.
The guys that can bring them up and get those big reverse sweeps. But on the same note, Darksided are now in that do or die position, which they weren't on, where they weren't taking those risks. And honestly, each game has been a 1-goal game, so it's just impossible to really see what's happening.
It really is. There's one moment that defines each of these games, and in Game 7, I do not doubt that it'll be one moment that defines who goes to RLCS. The pressure's going to build up, and also there is going to be a level of expertise that is needed in this final game. Expertise to handle yourself under the pressure.
You've seen the nerves coming out in these last 2 games. They keep hitting the backboard. Express hitting the crossbar over and over again. Yep. On the other side, Tainted Minds not trusting those pass plays, not pushing forward and being ready for those 1-2s that they're so famous for. All of them holding back, and that's why it goes to these big plays, that the big crunch through or the one-man army to get it past all 3.
And you have to say that Dumbo's been here before. This is a moment he's very familiar with. Another best of 7 taken to all 7 games. We've had the curse of legacy here today with Siki and Sirix. Now do we have the curse of Dumbo getting to a best of 7, touching RLCS.
Getting the final game. It's also last season in that lower bracket. The best of 5, he got reverse swept Game 5 overtime. And he could be seeing that again. Dumbo could be devastated. Shady last season in this position, and Express.
Yeah.
They went down to Tainted Minds last season. And for Tainted Minds, it's bringing it back, and it's edge of the seat action.
It really is. It really, really is. Look, we have just had a tweet come in as well. Kami for King. Now, what is your... the feeling about Jules this series is quite well known.
Yeah.
But is it Kami who's also stepping up to the plate? Or is it just a mix?
It's been a 3-man play. You know, you've seen nerves coming out from Jules. You've seen it come out from CJ. CJ, normally the guy who is most likely to push forward. Kami is staying further back, letting Jules have a bit more of the spotlight, which is great because Jules is playing well.
Yep.
And on the opposite side, you're seeing Dumbo constantly controlling the midfield, getting these touches over the defenders whenever he has a touch, and just opening up the net for Express.
Now, for anyone who is waiting at home, we are actually having a remake. I believe some of the players have disconnected or such. It's got to be nerves. You disconnect.
Or getting a glass of milk and some cookies to settle themselves down.
You'd want to. You'd want to. So we're going to give them their time, and we're going to move into Game 7 shortly.
Send them your hugs.
I believe it is loading up. But for Game 7 for both of these teams, RLCS on the line.
Look at that, 3 apiece.
This is going to be a difficult series. This is going to be one that Darksided have got to make sure they hold strong, shut out Tainted Minds. But if Tainted Minds get those pass plays down, it could all be over.
We are 1 game away. This is the entire series, the entire season for these teams boiled down to the last game of the day.
It comes down to a best of 1 with Jules taking the first shot and Tainted Minds. They're getting the ball through. How do Nerves react? Kami comes up forward for the ball, and Kami saves so many so far. They're pulling back. Darksided have to be careful. Tainted Minds have climbed from the bottom as 4th seed. And now they sit right here. A bump from Shady tells him to get the hell out of the way. We got to go in.
A crucial triple touch from Jules. After Tainted Minds double committed, it was up to him to keep Darksided at bay.
An opening for Darksided goes wide. The first goal could really change the series. Jules getting the ball all the way to the other side, and Dumbo's going to have to commit. CJ goes in, misses the read, and Dumbo wants to get it past Kami, but cannot. It'll hit near the roof, and Express uses the pace of the ball, but in comes Tainted Minds once again. They're hitting that backboard and hitting that back wall and trying to get a play.
My heart is racing. Each of these games has gone down to the last minute, has gone down to who can get the first goal. And neither team look like they're going to get one soon.
Bounces off the backboard. They commit.
Oh!
Jules gets the first.
Jules, the rookie, the player in his first OCE championship, the nervous player at the start, is the first one to open the floodgates for Tainted Minds.
And when Tainted Minds have the room to get the 3-man pass play, that's when they look at their best. They come into the final game, game number 7. They get the first goal.
He's found his stride. He knows his position, and the awkward Jules earlier in the season is completely gone. This is a world-class player in Jules.
My boy's grown up. 3 minutes 30. Tainted Minds, they're on the defensive, but they have that one goal. What can they do with it? They were on match point, 3-1 from Darksided, but now they're here in Game 7 with the lead. Yummy cheese, man. And from the corner, Tainted Minds, they look a lot more confident. Express going to play with the ball. He leaves it. Shady. Good defense, but coming close from Darksided.
There's complete nerves from Darksided. All onus is on them as they have to be the one to score in a series that has gone 1 goal each time.
Off the backboard, Express brings it to a standstill, and you can see that they're trying to get there, but Tainted Minds, their defense is good. He'll hit the backboard again. The lockdown from Darksided. Dumbo comes close. CJ gets it over the top, but Darksided have committed forward. Shady going to be slow to rotate back, and for Tainted Minds, they're going to try and breach this defense. Shady comes in off the corner. A center for Darksided. Taken away. A good bump by Jules.
The scramble, the panic on defense for Tainted Minds. It gets alleviated again by Jules. What a series.
He jumps up for the ball, realizes he can't get it, and Darksided clear it away. A 1-0 lead still applies as Darksided hitting on that backboard. Kami, you can see, wants to go back to RLCS. For Tainted Minds, is the journey really over? Will they make RLCS 2nd seed, 2nd time in a row?
Tainted Minds, they could be the first team to return other than the Chiefs. They could be the team looking to do what the 2nd seed has never done before, take out someone from the World Championship.
A good angle from CJ. He's looking for Express. Blood is there. The angle from the side. A big clear. CJ rolls the ball in.
There's blood on the pitch. Darksided have been murdered by CJ. CJ ripped that one right through, and Freddie would be proud.
Call CSI Miami. Call Horatio Kane. take off their glasses and have a look. 1 minute 53, and Tainted Minds, they may have caused a crime scene, but they're getting away with murder.
2-0, 2 minutes, 1 goal per minute for Darksided. They have their last chance. Their life is on the line. Their last ability to go international.
Tell you what, the abilities have been shown here today, Yummy Cheese Man. The center here from Tainted Minds. No one would have guessed. 4th seed, holding strong. But this one's in front of net. Darksided coming so close. Jules committing up, confident as ever. He wants RLCS. He can taste it. He can see it. Kami goes up for the ball. 1 minute 30 remaining. This is in front of net, into the goal square. A light touch forward. Tainted Minds have to maintain this control. Shady comes in off the side. Darksided not feeling confident. Over the top of Express. Kami now looking for the runaway. Dumbo gets the ball, but Tainted playing with so much time here. A minute remaining, and Darksided still aren't on the board.
Dumbo, the flashbacks. Darksided, the flashbacks. Everyone is seeing that this could be history repeating itself, that Darksided might lose in this game and send Tainted Minds internationally.
50 seconds, Jules comes up for the ball. One more goal will secure it. 45. CJ hanging back. Have Tainted Minds just made the biggest journey throughout the lower bracket? Darksided are coming close. They're scrambling in front of the net. Express trying to bump away Jules, but he hasn't done enough.
They're doing everything they can. Darksided are desperate in their final hour, their final minute, the final 25 seconds of the season for them.
And when it matters, they step up big. Jules has had the series, no, the day of his life in OCE Rocket League. The final goal looks to be coming through as Kami's opened it up. Tainted Minds, ladies and gentlemen. They've done it. They'll take down Darksided. And I'll tell you what, they will show you that OCE wants to return 2 of its finest.
They have gone back. CJ, and Kami return to the World Championship. Jules is going not only for his first time, but in his first OCE Championship.
And you know what I said? I said, hey, if Tainted Minds do not go to RLCS, then I will buy you all a drink. There's about 15 people there, but I'm glad I was right. Tainted Minds, Game 7.
They came in as 4th seed throughout this tournament. Everything was up against them. They had to verse the Chiefs round 1 and got devastated. They got demolished. And now they've made that lower bracket run again.
And what a way to do it. Right to the end and then destroying them in the final game.
That was the Tainted Minds that goes internationally and that can perform, that can go above and beyond the bottom 2 seeds.
Yes, it's the Tainted Minds that have to now look at Chiefs and say, okay, we lost to them earlier in the day, but we've picked up our performance. We've found Jules' stride. Can we take down the Chiefs now?
That's the scary part. There's actually been growth over the course of a day, which is something you don't typically see. Jules' confidence, when he is on, they are playing like an international team that can take down NA teams, take down EU teams. I have so much hope.
Wasn't this reminiscent of last week, of previous matches? Tainted Minds and Darksided have been at each other's throats this season. But just to finally find the opening and Tainted Minds saying, yes, we did it in a best of 7.
Every single time they face each other, it goes to the last game. It goes to the last minute. You can never count either team out. And honestly, you look at it and the number of times that Express hit that crossbar, that's going to haunt him for the rest of his life.
That crossbar is friend to no one in Darksided. That crossbar just changed everything for Darksided, but now for Tainted Minds, you have to say that that was a slow and a shaky start. Game 1 was great, but Darksided were able to shut them out. There was a lot of change in the past 3 games.
A lot of things changed. In the first set, we did see that Darksided managed to match the pace. They managed to get inside the rotations and intercept pretty much everything that came through, and that's how they controlled possession, but it just slowly transitioned as Jules gained his confidence back. I don't know where from, but boy, did it work.
It wasn't just that. It was that everyone started to scramble, and in a massive scramble fest, when everyone is either trying to get back to defense as quickly as possible or go to the ball as quick as possible, that's when Tainted Minds are at their best. They want to be to the ball first.
Now, who would you pick for an Omen by HP contender after such a long series career?
For me, this is actually a really hard one. Part of me wants to give it to Jules for getting that final goal that led to them giving the clincher in. But I think I may give it to Kami. I think the fact that he was supporting from the back line the whole time was pivotal in their success.
Yeah, he had so many saves throughout this series. goal line saves, last-second saves that kept them in, and double saves as well when he was in a 1v3 situation.
Kami was the saving grace in that series. However, Tainted Minds will be joining the Chiefs in the finals, and we have our 2 RLCS teams going to London, to the Copper Box Arena.
The same 2 from last time, and this is what I'm excited for. I always worried about OCE having 2 teams go. Means that we're more likely to have players that have never been before, and when you go to RLCS, it's such a different experience.
And consistency is king. So the fact they've got the experience means they won't have those jitters, and they can perform at peak.
At peak, coming up, is the grand final. Who will get first seed, who will get second seed, and who will go through and dominate the season? A 7-0 start from the Chiefs, but for Tainted Minds, they clawed their way up from the bottom. Our grand final coming up next. 5 minutes. Do not go anywhere.
We've got CJ.
We got CJ. I've just shown CJ. I'm so sorry. I've just thrown you under the bus, mate. How are you? Or not? That's fine as well. Fantastic.
Give me the cold shoulder back. You deserved it.
I deserve it, CJ. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited for the grand final. He's here. Hey, CJ. How are you?
Oh, g'day, boys. How are we?
After that, mate, I tell you what. I think we're about the same as you. How are you feeling after that win?
Oh, absolutely stoked. This I don't know. I feel like it means more than last season. Just the way we did it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we're the favourites, or apart from Chiefs, to get another spot in at RLCS, and absolutely stoked. Jules popped off, absolutely loving absolute legend. Oh yeah, had my whole family watching. I had to go to another house, so my yelling didn't spoil the excitement. But yeah, absolutely stoked, guys. As you can probably tell my voice.
I could tell.
And you were down 3-1 in that moment. I think we've seen you in that spot before. What did you do to bring back that entire series?
Well, I think we've just done it so many times before, Yummy. I mean, last packs we reverse swept Silla. We were 3-1 down to retirement home last week, and I said, boys, as we got 3-1 down, I said, boys, we're going to London. Let's do this. And yeah, we just well, I don't think we played really the way we wanted to play, but we played a style that got the job done in the end, and I'm so proud of the boys the way we went about it.
So, CJ, as the lower dog kings, the guys that just come to that lower bracket and destroy everybody, how are you feeling about your match against Chiefs?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to verse those blokes. I feel like that game, although we lost 4-1 in the first series, they were, one goal sort of games. Can't wait to verse, and they've got the one goal advantage, but hopefully we can put on a bit of a show and showcase what OCE is going to be.
Not going to be a
RLCS.
reverse of a return of last season, the 4-0?
No, we'll take your game. We'll take it.
Hey,
All 4.
CJ, last question before we let you go. How are you going to prepare for the World Championship now?
Well, I think we'll absolutely have to go do some boot camping over in Europe first, and just come a lot more prepared than last season. And I think just go in with probably less expectations and just have a good time, play our way, and hopefully we can get some results.
Well, congratulations again. You beat Darksided in Game 7
Thank
after
you.
coming back from a 3-1. You guys definitely played well. We'll let you go, and we'll chat to you after the grand final if you go through.
Thanks very much, boys. Cheers.
Well, CJ, happy as always. And, of course, the winner of the grand final, we'll have a chat to them as well. But going through to RLCS, Tainted Minds are stoked.
I think they're going to be going back, trying to get those wins. They went 0-6 last time. This is the time for them to take the win.
And I think the mindset they have going forward gives them the best chance to do that.
They've had that experience before. They were meant to do that last season where they kind of were going for the growth. Now they know how to do it.
Now they definitely know how to do it. We are going to go to a 5-minute break, however, and Chiefs taking on Tainted Minds coming up next in the grand final. Bang.